That was such a short break between game 1 and 2. I love it. Just bang out all of the games. No break, no rest. Keep playing Dota for our amusement. Game 2 in the South American Qualifier Grand Finals between SG Esports and Digital Chaos South America on the way, guys. SGE getting some insane lane power. Bloodseeker, as well as that Lich lane, as well as a Puck who was getting free kills in enemy supports. Yeah, it's hard to beat, man. It's certainly hard to beat, and I said it last game, that's going to prompt a Lich ban. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for the rest of this qualifying tournament here. But SGE certainly looking really strong. DC.SA not really getting off to the fastest start of all time, but again, we've seen them pull out some absolutely ridiculous things in the past. I expect them, or I hope for them, to take this game so we get a good game 3, because there's nothing more disappointing than the grand finals that is a clean sweep off of 2 stompy games. Ain't nobody want to see that, right? Like that's just not worth any of our time. Just give us real games, give us real competition, please. Bans are out though. Venomancer Necrophos still in Ancient Apparition. We've seen a lot of Kunkka play as well, but for DC.SA, they go ahead and grab the Nature's Prophet first, that we've seen Tekka just destroy with. So for sure it's going to be a worthy pick for DC.SA, and the fact that Spirit Breaker was previously banned out by SG will make this quite strong. This is most likely going to involve Batrider in some way, shape, or form in this game. Is generally the go-to hero when you're trying to deal with the Nature's Prophet. Of course, if you can't get Spirit Breaker. But DC.SA definitely would behoove them to kind of switch things up just a little bit. I mean, picking up a Batrider for Tekka is still fully within his wheelhouse. But this is certainly a little bit of a twist. Nature's Prophet and Tusk. Lots of terrain manipulation here for the DC.SA side. Pick-off power is incredibly strong, and I expect they're going to just stack up even more. Because that's what they were really lacking in the last game. Just the ability to go in on that one guy and kill him off in a hurry. That was, of course, despite having a Necrophos, so it's not really the easiest thing to do, since it did seem like they had at least the right tools to make that type of strategy happen. They just couldn't make the execution happen. SGE are going to waste no time, not going to give DC.SA the chance to ban Bat. They're going to grab it for themselves. And Batrider is, as I said, great versus Nature's Prophet, but also pretty damn good versus the Tusk. And the Snowball is only okay. Shards do very little up against flying units, turns out. So it's a pretty easy, pretty free pick for the SG Esports side to make. But now we're going to see what DC.SA actually want to do with this Nature's Prophet. I think I've mostly seen Tekka run the, more so killing you Nature's Prophet. And he has a style in which he's just going to be more involved in the fights than the split push. Not like completely ignoring split push or anything like that, but for sure if DC.SA want to go for that pick-off style, King Tekka seems like he'll be very comfortable in that with this Nature's Prophet. I don't really know if going for the whack-a-mole split push style is really what you want to be doing up against a Batrider. Like, you probably can make it happen somewhat, but SGE just need one hero with any sort of AoE effect at all, and then that will just put a hard stop to it. So I do want to see DC trying to set up King Tekka for early game rotations and just a super aggressive style. You got to switch things up here versus SGE, and with a Rubik start from the SGE side, I can certainly see that working out. And Rubik has been kind of weird in this qualifier. Sometimes first picked, but if he wasn't first picked or first phase picked, he just wasn't picked. So I don't know. Sometimes you just want a Rubik. The Venomancer's still in the pool for both sides. Could be fairly strong, especially for DC.SA. Looking for that push power to come out from them.
10 seconds remaining.
They're going to take out the Huskar, though.
5 seconds remaining.
I guess there's always that looming threat of Huskar, but with the Nature's Prophet, I'd be more scared about that map control from SGE, and how are we supposed to maintain our map control? That's the big issue for SGE. Sven, another one of those big heroes that we've seen in response to Nature's Prophet, does perfectly fine against him in lane. But more importantly, with the Blink Dagger and with that long-range stun, is a carry that's actually able to hunt down and pretty easily kill off Nature's Prophet. If you're looking for that, SGE can also go ahead and grab a Puck, who is, for some reason, still in the pool. When Puck ends up this late in the pool, we don't ask questions, guys. We just accept it. Or DC can pick it up. I mean, if you want to start some fights, Puck is your guy. Or Puck is not a guy. Puck is not a girl either. Puck is just Puck. Puck is your fairy dragon. Would be a pretty versatile pick. It is, at that point, forced to go in towards the mid lane, and we've seen a lot of Puck off lane recently. I dare say more Puck off lane than Puck mid lane, but for sure Puck mid lane is still perfectly viable if they want to do that. They could also go for a silencer or a Kunkka. We've seen, oh no, usually, maybe not Kunkka, usually him and Tusk are going to be taking the same role. So silencer is probably a pretty good hero to have as well. Great hero to have versus the Batrider or Disruptor. Haven't really seen that much of this hero. It seems like Disruptor very similar, at least in fashion, to that Kunkka that I was just talking about. And every single time teams were actually first picking Kunkka the other day. So, yeah, I mean, it worked out decently well. But for sure, Disruptor is the hero you want to have versus Batrider. Got to make sure you have some sort of answer to him. And with Nature's Prophet already being picked, kind of shoving Legion Commander out of the viability zone for DC.SA, got to be from your supports. And Disruptor is definitely a top tier support. Although I do like Silencer quite a bit in this patch. We've seen a lot of really, really good Silencer play. And if you're going to initiate with a lasso, you really don't want to be silenced. Although, up against a Silencer and a Rubik, or a Batrider and a Rubik, Silencer is only okay. If you saw a Faceless Void or something like that, then, man, you would slam pick the Silencer so quickly. Obviously, that's not up just yet. SGE don't really have that much showing. Very generic draft coming out from them. They have pick-off power. They have their initiation style. Especially once this Batrider is able to get himself a BKB and or a Force Staff. Got a little bit more of that in the Earthshaker. This is looking like exactly what DC.SA were trying to do in the last game. Rubik and Shaker is not exactly your strongest support duo. And when you're forced to go up against a Tusk, the challenge is real.
10 seconds remaining.
Yet it's still SGE putting a lot of the emphasis of their damage on their cores. The supports, their offlane, not really going to be doing all that much damage-wise. DC.SA, Phantom Lancer, the pick, is an interesting pick to be sure. I mean, Phantom Lancer, the mana burn certainly is going to be nice. Rubik can't really steal anything good versus PL, doesn't have much game versus PL in general. Wonder if they're going to give it to Attune for the mid lane. And Shaker Echo Slam is pretty good versus that Lancer, but you know, with all this disruption from the Disruptor, the fact that Nature's Prophet probably going to go for a silence item as well, there's a chance that they you know, have the Phantom Lancer survive that. But it does seem like perhaps a little bit of an early pick here for DC.SA. They kind of have to pick their safe lane selection, or they should pick their safe lane selection now since they do have the last pick. So they will be able to freely approach the mid lane matchup, which is of course very nice. Phantom Lancer, I'm not really huge on this hero in general. I feel like if you can make a way, make it so that Phantom Lancer is going towards the mid lane in an okay matchup, then you're going to be pretty happy. That's not really going to be the case when you pick it up this early. You don't know the matchup mid. You don't really want to commit to that super early.
10 seconds
But
remaining.
as far as the carry is concerned, you could certainly do a lot worse.
5
Just the
seconds
elusivity
remaining.
is going to be quite nice. The mana burn now up against
Radiant
Timbersaw.
team ban.
I mean, your illusions aren't going to be doing jack versus reactive armor, which is a little bit of a shame. But still, a Timbersaw with no mana is a sad Timbersaw. At that point, you can just ignore him. Like, he actually just does nothing. He'll hit you for like 60 damage every time.
10 seconds.
What are you going to do against that? How are you supposed to recover? It's impossible.
5 seconds remaining.
DC.SA still have that flexibility of putting the Phantom Lancer mid. Expect a couple of Tusk rotations there if that is going to be the case. Viper is going to be banned out. SGE can throw the Timbersaw mid. Throw the Timbersaw safe lane. I think we saw a team play safe lane Timbersaw and it didn't work because they were a little bit too passive. So I do want to see Timbersaw in a position where he's able to play really aggressively. A Nature's Prophet doesn't mean jack to a Timbersaw, so you can afford to play kind of recklessly in this game. Disruptor, Static Storm, Glimpse, though, is a concern. The Timbersaw is going to have to play around, and I'm not really sure how you play around that. Try to juke in the trees, I guess. SGE need a heavy hitter, though. Like a really, really heavy hitter. Someone who's also ideally not going to be hit with that global silence. So it's time to bust out one of these agility heroes for the mid lane. PA or something like that. Ooh, it's a Leshrac. That is the complete opposite of what I was just describing. Good job, Mike. Good job. Wow. Leshrac, though, has certainly enough power with an Earthshaker and a Rubik to apply some serious pressure.
10 seconds.
And Leshrac is just going to be one of those heroes fully dependent on initiation and then is up against a Pugna. Oh, man. That is going to hurt a lot. A Pugna Nether Ward absolutely craps on Leshrac and is pretty darn good versus everyone else as well. Outside of that, though, SGE do have the potential of running an offensive tri-lane and trying to put the heat on the Phantom Lancer super early on. Disruptor is not good in those circumstances. He is a rather trashy hero. And when your core is Leshrac, when you have 2 stuns already up, it's usually not super easy to kill off a Phantom Lancer, but it actually is possible at that stage. Putting a Timbersaw in the mid lane and Batrider in the safe lane at that point, I can definitely see that working out pretty well for the SGE side. This Leshrac is going to put SGE, though, on a timer. As powerful as Timbersaw and Leshrac are in the late game with their scaling, that is usually just scaling that's coming out of like an off-lane Timbersaw that you like kind of get extra damage out of, or Leshrac that started off as a support and then is going to be therefore drawing out the game a little bit. You know, picks up a Hand of Midas maybe, but you know, takes down towers. He can burst down creep waves super easily because he has all the AoE in the world. If you're really going to put your farm and all your eggs into a Leshrac basket, you gotta go, man. You gotta go fast. And DC.SA with the split push may make that a little bit of a difficulty here for SGE. It's going to be very interesting to see if they can play aggressively enough to crack this DC.SA lineup quickly. If they don't, then you know, the split push, the Phantom Lancer, these are things that Leshrac doesn't really fare that well against. Now, maybe if he gets like a Blink Dagger Yules, he can deal with the Nature's Prophet, and for sure the Nature's Prophet Treants are going to be food for ADR moving forward. But that's really the least of their concerns right now. They really are just concerned with how much action can they get in the early stages. Seems like for right now, though, it is just going to be a mid lane Lesh. Nothing too weird here, as Matthew is going to be spotted on the retreat from his Observer Ward placement. There is a fissure that is tight. Well, it's going to set up for a double stun anyway. He has shards, so he can make himself quite a nice wall here. And will be just that. Theo is still with boots. 1 stack of napalm. Another fissure in 5. Another split earth is up, but that's not an easy spell to land. Tusk is going to take an absolute beating, and the ward is going to be perfectly pinged out. Do they have any sentries? Sentry check. Yes, there is. One on Bardinho. Going to be playing that Rubik. Raposa is going to be handling the bat. Got ADR chopping down some trees. Theo is on the Shaker. And fucking A is on the safe lane Timbersaw. On the other end, Attune playing that Pugna, and the rest of his squad smoked up. King RD, Disruptor, HFN, Phantom Lancer, Matthew, Tusk. And then we got Tekka in the base as the Nature's Prophet still. Again, this is not really something you want to fight over as DC. You do have the vision, which is kind of nice, but and Batrider is kind of weak, but so is Disruptor. Phantom Lancer is durable to right clicks, but if he's gonna take one too many spell casts, then he's in trouble. Not entirely sure what that was. I wonder if Shaker's gonna stick around for a very long time. And Shaker really isn't that type of hero to just dump his mana pool and trying to out aggro the enemy mid lane. Like that's the Earth Spirit's job. That's the Slardar's job, right? He really just wants to cancel clarities first of all. Really set up for ADR to get a little bit of CS. You don't want to give Attune an inch because he will take a mile. We've seen that time and time again. Especially when you're talking about him playing a Pugna, where him taking a mile involves taking down your towers. Split Earth is going to land onto 2. Perfectly placed. Attune's going to take an absolute beating there. He does have a salve and he will be able to consume it freely. But man, I've never seen level 1 Split Earth get that much value. Close up towards top lane. Gotta watch yourself, Bat. Up against that Glimpse is vulnerable, but only if the Phantom Lancer gets a lot of Lance chip beforehand. And, you know, Phantom Lancer, I'm sure he's going to be going for an Aquila. And he will have the additional stick charges. But really, there's not much that Raposa can do in this lane offensively. Never can kill a Phantom Lancer. Perhaps. Oh, mid lane. Attune just on the edge. Gets hit with the Split Earth. ADR, though, just now hits level 2, but he gets separated by the shards. It's still long enough range to get lightning off. And now here comes Tekka to help out, kill Theo. Theo just wants his punch and gets it. Even if he dies right now, he can die happy. And he has boots. He's not going to die super quickly. Look at him go. Somebody cue the Benny Hill music. I don't have it. It'll be great if someone could do that for me right about now, but it's just me. He's actually just going to live. Matthew doesn't have shards. They're going to have to give up the chase, and with the "it's a disaster to all" chat, Theo is going to get first blood and survive. Leposa as well. He's King RD. Decides against it. There is some mana here on Theo. King RD with 2 stacks and Napalm. Gotta be careful of that, man. Gotta be super careful. Even with that glimpse, he doesn't even have it. Never mind. Yeah, as a disruptor, you're slow, you're clunky, and you are going to lose all of your creeps to Leposa's Batrider. SGE coming out of the gates fast, but that's a kill. That's great. More CS for Leposa. Also, that's fantastic. There's the concern that they're just a little bit behind in CS. Teleport coming in, and ADR is fairly well surrounded. Snowball, okay, and Tekka's here too for reasons. He leaves the lane, and still the Timbersaw is actually behind in CS. Fucking A should be able to recover though. Timbersaw's strong suit isn't exactly his ability to CS. Low base damage for sure. Over in the top lane, the Phantom Lancer having an absolute ball of a time. Again, there's nothing that this Batrider can do to this Phantom Lancer. Pretty much ever. And the Pugna still, despite dying, is doing pretty darn well in the CS department. I wonder what build Leshrac is going to go for in this game. Went for the Lightning. But Lightning actually isn't that good. You get more lightning strikes, you get slightly more slow duration. The damage only increases by 50 though, and the mana increases by 10. That is not a good value point. He may have gotten it just to try to get Attune killed off before. Fissure is going to be a little bit off. Not quite good enough to follow up with the Split Earth. Yeah, you're not really excited to go for lightning. Oh, ADR almost got captured by those shards. But still Attune is shoving in this lane a lot. This guy's played a lot of Pugna. HFN trades hits with Leposa. Stick charges will get him right back up to fit fighting shape. We have Matthew on a little bit of a walkabout. Is going to see the Batrider. And his Firefly will time out, but the shards are actually going to miss as Leposa just walks literally right around him. Theo in the meantime is going to start picking a fight with Tekka. Does quite a bit of damage. Bounty Rune still grabbed by the Nature's Prophet though. I'm not really sure if that use of mana is worth it. Let's see if he can actually get this kill. A little bit short on mana here. I don't think he's fast enough. I don't think these illusions are going to do much. Clarity into Fissure? He's going to wait. Clarity needs it. Oh, Tekka, careful, man. He's going to cancel the Clarity. Captures him in the trees. And now Theo. Can you survive this again? Oh, he's going to turn around for Tekka. One more punch. He got him. Oh, tower shot. Okay, there's 2 coming. It's a tier 2 as well. But man, what a play from the Shaker. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the Bounty Rune as well, but man, sacrifices his life to kill off the Nature's Prophet, thereby freeing up this bottom lane fully for fucking A. That's a play right there. Leshrac does have that second point in Lightning. I mean, it is the clearing spell. It's not a good spell, but it's the best spell that Leshrac has at clearing. You don't really want to get Edict unless you're really looking to take down towers aggressively, and that's not going to happen in this scenario. Towards top lane now, pressure onto King RD. Glimpse is now up though, and he will glimpse back Leposa. Snowball will not get Matthew up the high ground. Theo again is chasing fools down for kills. Earthshaker, the DPS monster. Leposa over the hills and up the hill. And now you have to go through Shaker. Do you really want to try that, HFN? You really don't, man. Leposa's going to live, and it's going to be SG Esports getting another kill. All 3 of which are on the Earth. All the kills and all the deaths are actually on the Earthshaker, so there you go. Support Earthshaker? Theo doesn't understand the concept of support Earthshaker. He's a carry. He will kill you. That's only level 1 enchant totem too. It just seems like it's doing infinite damage. Oh, Snowball will not get Matthew that Bounty Rune. And still Theo is just picking a fight. He knows that there can be a Nature's Prophet here at any time. He just doesn't give a damn, man. Shards. Oh, we'll push him away though. Those were perfect. And in the meantime, they will group up and kill off ADR. That shard, though, pushing Theo out of range of Aftershock. That is
Radiant's
incredible.
top tower is under attack.
So they get a kill on the Leshrac mid, a very, very gankable hero.
Has fallen.
Had 12 stick charges. Seems like still just enough burst damage, but in the meantime, fucking A. Seems like they kind of forgot that there was a Timbersaw in this game. He is, in fact, here. It's difficult to deal with at this stage in the game since he has so much armor.
Dire's bottom
Can't
tower
let him
is
play the
under
Broodmother
attack.
role. That is a bad idea. He's going to go Soul Ring, Arcanes. Probably just a pretty standard Timbersaw build. He's actually going to go in for a little bit of magic resistance up against that Pugna. I don't mind that one bit. I mean, Pugna is just that high damage hero. Oh no, ADR. There's a glimpse here. King RD only has level 1 though. And ADR will be fine. See? Isn't lightning great, guys? Isn't... Oh, wait, 1 bottle charge. Like half a bottle charge and it gets all of his HP back. Man, what a garbage spell. This thing, like, it has a low cooldown, but, like, you're not happy to cast it ever. Until, of course, you get that, the 3 seconds lightning storm slow. That is oppressive, man. Like, it turns your spell into a spammable gale. It's insane. But I would say level 6 Leshrac is pretty far away from having that talent, and I think you guys would.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Fucking A is still playing the Broodmother. He's like Broodmother, except he has, like, mechanized armor. And I'm not a big fan of armored spiders. That doesn't sound fun. Seems like Timbersaw has had enough fun playing on the bottom lane. Now he's gonna mess with HFN. Wherever he goes, there's gonna be a real struggle for DC.SA. Kind of same thing for Theo. He's very confident around the map. Let's see what build ADR wants to go for. Wrath of Nature. Now that's a spell. Now that's a bouncing nuke. He is going to show up in the mid lane. Lightning, Earth, but here comes the snowball in, and he's just going to get obliterated. Although he does have stick charges. Stun onto the Pugna, and it's just enough damage with the Pulse Nova to get the kill. And now they also telekinesis up Matthew. More Pulse Nova. Fissure? No? Blind? Something? Not quite. They will have to let Matthew go. But they still will turn things around, keep the Leshrac alive. That is perhaps even more important than killing off the enemy Pugna.
Dire's top tower is under
Get
attack.
ADR out of that sticky situation. And again, Leshrac is so easy to kill. Like, even with 2 Null Talismans, like, this is not a super impressive amount of survivability. Usually why we see, like, Bloodstone builds on the Leshrac, just because it gives him a lot of health.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Top lane is going to be pushed. Laposa now going to make his arrival on the bottom lane. Does have Soul Ring Lasso, and he will be looking for Tekka. Can't go for HFN. He will grab Tekka, though is very slow. Theo has more Enchant Totem hits. He's landed so many Enchant Totem hits in this game. Like, usually by this point, you've landed, like, 3. But he's actually, like, easily in the double digits. On heroes, mind you. Like, you can hit creeps all day,
Radiant's
whatever.
structures are fortified.
Tower pushed by the blasts of Attune.
Dire's top
As
tower
ADR is going to throw up Split Earth. Blind. Not quite on the mark. But still, they'll deny the tower. Or should deny the tower. Looks like they might get a tower of their own as well. Lol, 20 stacks of reactive armor with no creeps. Thank you, Ice Frog. Thank you for this Timbersaw hero. He's on top of the net worth chart, by the way. He's been avoiding confrontation. Uh-oh. Here comes Tekka into the mid lane. Summons a couple of goons, but Pulse Nova is going to make short work of them. ADR does not have any Diabolic Edict, so he's not able to really push. That's not something he could do. This build is almost entirely going for kills, kind of pick-off style kills, and defending against pushes. When he's on the aggressive side, that's not really him at his strongest. We'll grab a regen rune though. Still have fucking A on this top lane. Disruptor's trying to get that level 6 mark in the meantime, but he cannot feel super comfortable about this. There's a Rubik rotating in as well. Has been playing a very quiet game. Varginha though, hitting that level 6 mark really quickly and is going to get an immediate D-ward. Oh man, I thought he was going to get jacked by his own creeps. That would have sucked. But that's a level 6 on the Rubik. Not really many great spells to steal in the area. Actually, no, there is, as Attune wanders in. Blast? Probably. Yeah, he gets the blast. Still, blast will be returned into him with Decrepify. Matthew already threw the shard, so he doesn't have another one. They'll have to let him go, and now Rubik is Pugna. Like, he doesn't have Life Drain, but, man, he's just as good right now. Like, no Diabolic Edict, no problem. Just steal Just steal a blast from Pugna. Easy game.
That should help.
And fucking A, he knows that there's a lot of heroes here. Does he care? I mean, he has the hood completed. So, well, blast won't even hit. That's one thing. The hood is great. Timber Chain gets him out of the Pugna's drain most of the time. But maybe he's overestimating his tank ability. Because he just lost all of his HP by suiciding in by himself. Oh, did I just kill a Timbersaw? I may have just killed a Timbersaw by saying how safe he was. Oh my god. He's like, I have infinite armor. I have a hood. I can't die. And then Pugna's like, nope. You may be Ice Frog's chosen defensively, but I'm Pugna. Theo is going to see a tune. Thinking about going for him. Does still take a blast and a lot of life drain. Glimpse back, still in the life drain, but still will survive. Thunderstrike not doing enough here. I don't know why he Timber Chained that. That was, we'll call that a test run for the Timbersaw. He just wanted to see how tanky he was. And now he definitely knows that he is not that tanky. SG Esports, 2 towers so far taken down in their favor. Though they may not be as far ahead in the kill department as they would really like, they do have to worry about this Pugna. As far as stuns and control is concerned, they do have more than enough to blast him down. If they see him, attune ADR. Oh, they see the split earth. Now ADR's in a lot of trouble because he doesn't have the stun, but he does have a blink lasso. That might just be better. Edict and Pulse Nova will shred the Pugna. King RD will get out of there. Blink Dagger on the bat. That's something you can't really play around easily. And over in the mid lane, Echo Slam onto HFN. He will doppelgang away and Theo will be picked off. Fucking A now on the run, or is he? He'll Whirling Death, all that Sprout. Still is looking for an angle onto HFN, but the Glimpse back is going to snap the chain. So he's got the barrier up. HFN once again doppelgang away. Jump forward from Laposa, sees the real one. There's another Timber Chain here, and there are angles. Can it connect? No, not quite. A Chakram. Oh, the Whirling Death is going to be dodged as well. And fucking A is losing a lot of mana here. Diffusal Blade is up, but they are going to fly over the trees. HFN is another doppelgang. 3, 2, 1. Still will go down. Fucking A is completely tapped out of mana. Attune, though, is going to make his rival known, and, well, he can clearly kill off a Timbersaw, especially when Timbersaw literally cannot move. Who needs stuns when you have Shards and Sprout at the same time? The problem, though, is top lane, where the Leshrac was left alone for just a couple seconds, and suddenly, boom, your tower's dead. They chase in for about 10 years and also lose the bat. Boom, dead. Not really sure why he went this direction. I thought he would get out because there's nothing else he can do at no HP. I'm not really sure what that was about. It's still SG. Those are the type of aggressive plays. That's how you flex the muscles of a Timbersaw. So Theo is going to be super dead on this bottom lane. Wrong neighborhood. Killing spree for Attune. And this is somewhat concerning for SGE. We do have the Blink Dagger on the bat, Blink Dagger on Shaker. Not really close.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They really,
attack.
really want to be pushing into more towers than this. Or getting more pickoffs.
Dire's middle
Currently
tower
behind in
is
kills.
under attack.
Currently
Radiant
even in
structures
towers.
are fortified.
No, never mind. Bottom lane will be cleaned out, so they're even behind in towers there. DC.SA are getting pretty much exactly the game style they want. Phantom Lancer late game is going to be really hard to deal with. But Earthshaker and Leshrac are both decent at dealing with that Phantom Lancer in theory. But right now, it's all the momentum for DC's side. And another kill perhaps. Enchant Totem. Maybe Cast will do nothing. Save Theo. Fucking A is going to arrive. As long as he keeps on killing off these illusions. Minimizing this Diffusal Blade. Well, there goes all his mana. Never mind. Can't do anything about that. Nino deals a blast again. I don't really think he did anything with it last time, but still, between that and a Fade Bolt, that's a dead creep wave every time. DC are in a prime position right now. HFN on top of the net worth chart. Leshrac may have additional tank ability coming up soon with the Bloodstone. They're still really far away from this Blink Dagger on the Shaker. And every single time they go for a push, there will be just as much, if not more, push going back their direction. That's what King Tekka's job is. He has Hand of Midas. He'll go for drums. Phantom Lancer, of course, has a Fusel Blade, so he does push very quickly with his illusions. Oh, look at that. Moving one illusion back, just trying to bait out someone to initiate on it. And the rest of the DC side, smokes will run into one another. Batrider, though, is a dominant hero here. Static Storm does go up, but Pugna will go down. And Matthew as well, lifted up. He is going to take a lot of damage here. Theo does not have a lot of backup. They also just kind of dove in, going for Attune. And Matthew will go down as well. And they actually went for, I'm sorry, the Nature's Prophet, I think. Teleported out. Wait. Yeah, exactly that. I don't know. People be dying all up in this game, guys. They do end up getting a 2-kill. Batrider doing exactly what he has to do for the team. Find that one guy. If it's the Pugna, great. Phantom Lancer, even better. Just make quick work of him. Now the Pugna, and by that I mean Rubik, will start pushing, although it gets glimpsed right back. Tries to TP out, will be fine. And that's a great pickup for SG. They are kind of bound by the cooldowns of the Batrider. It's a level 2 lasso at this point, so you do get that cooldown reduction. 20 seconds is quite a lot when your ultimate is that important. Oh, Snowball, is that going to land? It doesn't quite land. Matthew still has backup potential here if Tekka decides to come in, but Tekka is not here. He's... oh, he is actually here. He does come in. A little bit late. Doesn't matter, man. Not getting that kill is not a big deal. They're still getting a lot of farm in this Nature's Prophet. ADR, though. He's got this Bloodstone, Blink Dagger Shaker. Still an item worth waiting for, though. The Posa is caught out in the middle of nowhere. Static Storm, Walrus Punch, Shards. He's dead. Can they make a response happen in kind in the bottom lane? Attune isn't going to see this one coming. Don't go up there. Now here comes the pain. Lightning, Split Earth, perfectly comboed. Pulse Nova, as well as the Edict. You can try to Life Drain out of this. It won't work. It's a one-for-one trade across the map. Pugna is very similar to Leshrac in that they both do an incredible amount of damage at the cost of having no HP. Top lane, though, Treants, as well as Phantom Lancers, will make short work of it. Theo's going to teleport into the Shrine. Grabs a Bounty Rune, desperately needs backup, though. The telekinesis here from the Rubik will save him. A little bit of effort versus the Phantom Lancer. Put a lot of damage onto him. He's going to jump right back into the high ground. Fucking A has no chain, though. He's going to miss. One spell has to land. He misses the Chakram also. Gets the Lightning, though. Just barely scraping together that kill. They also swoop into the back, killing off the Disruptor. So ultimately a 3-for-1. You also count, all right, that's 2-for-1 in that fight. And oh, they found Tekka as well. What is going on here? DC, so clean in their positioning, or at least making trades every single time, but all of a sudden, losing 3 heroes in as many minutes, looking at maybe more as King RD is going to be spotted out. Field goes up. He can't touch the Shrine. Oh, he finally does, but there's a Timbersaw here. He's going to actually get down to the low ground accidentally. Walrus Punch keeps the Leshrac in range and is actually getting beaten down by Ancients as well. Still, he needs to turn on his Pulse Nova. ADR just focusing down the Nether Ward first. Attune doesn't have another life drain. Another blast will come out, and now ADR is pissed. He's going to turn on all of his spells and just go straight for Matthew. He'll blast him down. 17 Bloodstone charges. Attune, another blast from low ground. Won't quite get the kill. And everyone else on SG going to regroup. And they will be able to keep this Leshrac alive. We're still having some serious issues landing those abilities, but doesn't seem to matter. He's not dying. And they're keeping Leshrac alive. As long as that happens, you're okay with it. And hey, look at that. Rubik picked up Pugna's ability again. And this one is the one that pushes. He's going to not cast it, though. He doesn't have a lot of mana, which is unfortunate, being such a poor hero. Doesn't have arcanes. Barely any mana regeneration from this urn. So he's gonna have to hold on to it for, you know, dire circumstances. But Leshrac is starting to get some pretty insane farm. This Snowball is going off, and they'll find HFN, and they will start stunning him perfectly. Whoa, that Pulse Nova as well, as the fact that Edict hit only onto one guy. I don't know the math nowadays, they may have tweaked it, but Diabolic Edict used to be the highest single target, one of the highest single target damage spells in the game, along with like Battery Assaults, which is, and they're pretty much the exact same ability, right? ADR is gonna get snowballed. He's very tanky here, but he's also in the Static Storm, and he's getting life drained. Suicide is possible. He will commit Sudoku, but he will also give his life so that the team will kill off Tekka, who doesn't really have much of a way out of here. His treants should also be cleared out, and in the back, it's Leposa. He's found himself a Disruptor. Chakram is just off the mark, but King RD is so slow, he's probably just going to die to Leposa just by himself. And also the fact that Leshrac had a million Bloodstone charge means that he's going to instantly respawn. Momentum is all in favor of SGE, as DC are getting very little done across the map, just getting constantly picked off. Leposa showing off big in this game with the Bat Rider, and ADR as well, delivering with that those Leshrac combos. BKB on the way next. This is going to give Theo enough gold for a Blink Dagger. Timbersaw as well, collecting Bloodstone charges after all these kills. And for DC, they have a good amount of farm in this Lancer. Travels, though, does not help you in a straight-up fight. Nature's Prophet, really stacked as well. If you can silence ADR, that would be great. Unfortunately, the window to silence this Leshrac is getting smaller and smaller as the BKB is building up, so Orchid, with limited effectiveness. Tekka will still teleport into this bottom lane, has a lot of backup coming in. Fucking A gonna try to give ADR a little bit of cover as they do pop Nether Ward, but it's really far away. So I think for SG, this should be a really good engagement if they decide to take the fight, but they'll lose the Rubik beforehand. Glimpse back onto Theo, can't blink out in time. Static Storm goes down only onto Theo. ADR and fucking A still can do damage, but they know they'll be chasing into another ward. And also Leshrac, stuck in the Sprout right now. He is getting drained out. Fucking A, though, going off with the help of the Bat Rider. We'll get on top of a Toon, bring him down. ADR refusing to die. So much damage from this Pulse Nova. Where's the snowball going? Towards ADR. Pulse Nova still tick, tick, dead, dead. Double kill, looking for 3. As they'll Yules up the Disruptor, kill him off in a flash. Bloodstone charges for everybody. Affirmative. Nature's Prophet somehow gets out of that situation alive. But that is not how that fight was supposed to go for DC. You drop another ward, you have to keep the enemies in that nether ward range. But it was dropped a little bit too defensively, and now ADR, with fucking A tanking the tower shots, will have a free single target Diabolic Edict with a full 20 seconds before DC are back online. Now Edict doesn't last forever. They will TP back in as, oh, Theo can start messing with Tekka. Orchid TP will get him out to safety. Tier 3 down, though. I'm kind of surprised they don't stick around for any damage. They could have probably taken down the range racks without too much of an issue. But making the safe play, SG Esports certainly feeling themselves in this game. This deficit with DC's heroes is not impossible to come back from, though. Pugna's just being picked off first thing every single fight. With the BKB, he'll hope to alleviate that. Nature's Prophet split push, Phantom Lancer with Travel split push. These are all big assets to keep DC in this game and try to recover from this farm deficit now. But if SG keep on playing the way they've been playing, and honestly if DC keep on playing the way they've been playing, it's going to be really difficult. SG are just playing better right now. There's no other way to put it. They're just finding more initiations with the Bat Rider, and the initiations are always on the right guy. This time they're going to go in for a scout. Here comes the snowball, but oh, Tusk, you don't want to be there, bro. Fissure is going to connect onto him and King RD. They do glimpse back the Bat Rider, but he's fine with the Yule Scepter. Fucking A in the front is taking all the fire in the world. Static Storm returned by Bardino, keeping the Phantom Lancer silenced, doing a lot of damage, but they still will lose fucking A. He's only dead for 6 seconds, and ADR in the back is just grinding fools down with his damage. He's completely out of mana, but a Toon. His BKB is worn off, and Leposa, he's going to get right on top of him. Snowball is going to give him a couple seconds of cover. Fucking A is back. Because of that Bloodstone, they'll go for both at the same time. Matthew gets into his base. A Toon will not have that same luxury. They will take down Theo. The Shaker has already done his job, though. Now the jump in, looking for that Phantom Lancer. Fucking A running dry on mana, running dry on health. ADR kind of the same situation. They can back up, take the shrines. They'll take Lance harassment the entire time. Leposa doesn't have another lasso for another 20. They'll slide bottom lane, try to look for some racks there, I suppose. Another great fight for SG Esports. Rubik stole the Static Storm, still has it. And although he doesn't have any way of like making sure the enemies stay in the Static Storm a la Kinetic Field, it is still just a tool that once you slap onto a Phantom Lancer, he is stone useless. He has to move. And you never want to be issuing move commands at this point in the game. You want to only be issuing attack commands. Of course, you have to move. There's no way around it. But oh my god, this is something you don't want to see. Suddenly 2 TPs. How do you play around that? How the hell are you supposed to play around that? What? That was a slick gank, man. Like, Travels let you do stuff like that. You never really expect it to happen in exactly that fashion, and now they're not done. Here comes the Timber Saw. They do see the Nether Ward. Static Storm is fantastic here. We'll just calmly kill off the Nether Ward, as in the front lines get the Bat Rider this time. Yule Scepter will keep him alive. Atune did use another BKB charge to escape that one. And everyone will survive. Oh, he finds a regen rune. Oh, bless RNG. Play well, get rewarded, right? SGE are going off, firing on all cylinders. Shrines now going to fall. Still the Rubik has that Static Storm stolen for a long time, actually. Still pretty new. And oh, again. Oh, Yule Scepter this time to prevent any shenanigans with TP. They do have a lasso if they need it. They will not need it. Tekka down. And that is why, guys, Bat Rider is picked up whenever there's an H Prophet on the other end. You gotta try to get the Bat Rider. Here, Bat Rider is an above average hero. Dio is going to get glimpsed right back in. He'll walk around the shards, still in the Silent Circle. Gets an Echo Slam off. Does a little bit of damage. Static Storm, that was the Rubik's. We'll lock down HFN. Unfortunately, ADR is a little bit too far away there. They will find the Nether Ward and be able to pick it off. Shaker, the Nature's Prophet in the end. Laposa does still have that lasso. And SG now should be looking for a Roche setup. They don't really Roche the fastest. Do they have any minus armor here at all? They don't have a medallion. Obviously no Desolator with this lineup. Roshan's still going to be ground down, and they don't have to worry about split push because Nature's Prophet has already been dealt with. They'll slowly but surely take the Aegis. Leshrac is one of the deadlier heroes with Aegis. Very similar line of thought between Leshrac and a Stormsphere with Aegis. Stormsphere perhaps a little bit more explosive, but Leshrac can certainly do a lot with the full mana pool and, of course, the full health pool. Got Ags coming in as well, soon, eventually. He's getting a very high level on top of that. 15 strength, 2400 HP with Magic Immunity, with level 3 Null Field, double life. Yeah, feels good. This is a good spot to be as Leshrac. Again, they have to be pushing this issue. They got to keep going. You don't want to give HFN nor Tekka any sort of space. If you do, they will start pushing the towers, and by towers I mean tier 3s. Be very dangerous. They will find ADR in isolation, but the fissure goes off onto Pugna. No chain stun though. ADR walks around instead. Is just going to start focusing down that Nether Ward. Here comes Laposa over the cliffside. They do go into the shrine. ADR though is so confident, still wandering in with his own BKB. He has a lightning. He has a split earth. It'll stun up the Tusk and not quite get the kill. But he should be in the bag here. They also take down King RD off to the side. 2 supports down. BKB is being traded there, and hey, look at that. Maybe they should have taken down the shrine earlier. King Tekka immediately going to jump into action. Split pushing. Got the Wrath of Nature taken away as well. We can see Laposa, his job. Make sure Nature's Prophet doesn't get away with. I can't believe they're actually not killing off the shrine. Do they not have an edict? I would recommend killing off this shrine to avoid exactly that last fight. If DC didn't have a shrine there, they would have taken a lot more casualties. They're just gonna let this shrine live.
Shrine is under attack.
I mean, going for high ground is pretty good also. I like that idea. I don't think they have enough time to go for... Is he not even gonna attack him? Yeah, you should be going for range racks there for sure. Only a couple support pickoffs. That's not really dependable. Are they gonna go for the shrine now? This is Ags up on the Leshrac, by the way. And what do we have on the Timber Saw? Went for the Lotus. It's a really nice item. There's a lot of good stuff to reflect. but as well as the fact that it'll just get rid of Decrepify. It'll get rid of the Soul Burn. Not really sure if he needs this much armor. Like, Lotus is a lot of armor already. Shiva's Guard is, I would say, maybe even better than Lotus because you get that AoE Ice Blast. Helps you deal with the Nature's Prophet and Phantom Lancer a little easier. But I would say that, you know, maybe consider going for that pipe. This Pugna still does a lot of damage. We haven't really seen it in play. His net worth attune is really suffering. It does seem like fucking A, though, is going perhaps a little bit too defensively. Theoretically, if you are ahead, you kind of want to be building not defensive items. You want to be building damaging items. Again, this is like pure, like, standard Dota 2 theory craft. And I guess that item, if he was going to be building an offensive item, would be an Ags. A Sheepstick would also be, I would say, an offensive item. Shiva is pretty offensive as well. Like, the Ice Blast isn't nothing. And the Shrek almost going for that. Level 25. I don't know, do you get 3 seconds slow? I mean, it's really good. It is really good.
Dire's bottom shrine is under attack.
I feel like if they saved Shivas for Leshrac and got a pipe upgrade on Timbersaw, that would be a little more elegant. But you know what? They're rich. They can make... They're big boys. They can make their own decisions. ADR does have the Ags coming out to him. Matthew in the area and is spotted out. This sentry, I think, sees this observer. I don't know. It's always hard to tell. If only there was some way to see. Oh, babe. I haven't really seen many Leshracs in this patch, though. So, I'm not entirely sure how effective this is. I can tell you what, though. It doesn't matter when you find a hero like that. Ags, no Ags, who cares? With 23 Bloodstone charges, he will be looking at a very fast respawn. Well, first of all, he has Aegis. And he has respawn into Travel In, as does the Timbersaw. Tusk down is not the biggest opening in the world, but ADR again. Gonna show his ass to the enemy. And, well, get Force Staff out of the field. Glimpse is still here. BKB, he will not pop it. And Lancer Illusions charging in. ADR getting ground down by this Nether Ward. You can see the bolts of green lightning doing some serious work here. Can't seal the deal, though. Leshrac will put in a... some damage onto that tower. If you're gonna do that, you gotta go for the range racks.
Radiant are scanning.
Or get a more influential pick off beforehand. Something that's not the Tusk, because, you know, Tusk is playing well for sure. Like, those snowballs are buying him a lot of time, but offensively, he's not really doing all that much. I'm not entirely sure how powerful this Ags is. It used to be just your Pulse Nova is better. I guess it still is. Your Pulse Nova is better, but in a different way.
Top tower is under attack.
ADR once again goes up the high ground. And rain cancel. Now jump in. No lasso. The Posa kind of stumbling there. Is going to end up grabbing the Disruptor, trying to take out the Static Storm first, and they will do just that. Still the Nether Ward, though, is hidden in the trees. They jump in, pull out a buyback, and disengage. They are able to disengage because they have killed off the hero who's able to prevent disengages, that Disruptor. All should be fine to just wait a little while longer and go in for round 2. Tekka, once again, going to jump into action, pushing this top lane. Does have a TP scroll to get back. ADR is not super healthy right now, but slowly but surely doing damage to this range racks. Melee is recovering pretty well. ADR really has to be careful of this Nether Ward. You can see how much green lightning there is again. Nature Fan's gonna pop BKB. He's actually stuck. That's a tight wall. He can't actually hit anything but fucking A. That's his only option, and Tusk is going really deep in, and he punches the Earthshaker out with that Force Staff. Now, they will group up around the Batrider and kill him off. Not a great trade here for SG, but they still have to kill off this Nether Ward. They don't really have any other options. BKB not being used on Leshrac. His Aegis has already been lost, and now he's losing a lot of HP. Oh, needs a Force Staff. Phantom Lancer not gonna rush in. ADR will survive again. SG should be looking for kills, not for tower damage. towers only, or structures rather, they will only really fall when the enemy team is dead. And this little green ward is doing so much damage. Little green wards, man. Pretty powerful. Again, this is what I said in the draft. Like, Pugna normally is not really nowadays about the nether ward. Used to be, but not anymore. If you can get to this state where the enemy team is struggling to push up high ground, you just slap the nether ward in like this, well, there's no more trees there, but you know, like this incredibly defensive spot like this really makes it difficult. They are going to have to be careful not to leave too far outside their base. DC and their high ground is really good when they can focus the fights around this nether ward, but when they're out and about, they run the risk of getting picked off, as we have seen time and time again in this game. Lightning with Pulse Nova. I mean, Leshrac needs bulk. That's like the entire itemization of the hero. Oh, I found Matthew again! Why again, man? How many times? Fissure also connects onto the Disruptor. Flame Break gonna keep him in reach so that ADR can stop dropping some lightning. There is that life drain, giving Disruptor a lot of extra gas, but so much damage, as Theo is gonna grab both those kills. Neither of these heroes have buybacks, and they know about it because Disruptor just used his earlier. The question is, can they deal with the little green ward? They'll focus down the range racks, probably what they should have been doing in the first place. And the Phantom Lance Illusions can really quickly clear it out by that Pulse Nova Lightning combo. And finally, we'll take down a set of racks on the bottom lane. And now SG can leave the bottom lane to never return. Slow and steady may not always win the race, but it just doesn't end up splattered on the walls. Shout out if you can name that flavor text. The largest shout out possible. Posa is hunting. HFN almost in danger there. Roshan not going to be up just yet, although rolling some dice may be lucky. Huh? Middle. Not super unlucky. And now bottom lane's gonna be pushed in by itself. They do have to address it sometimes, simply because the Nature's Prophet, Wrath of Nature, summons, whatever, still will shove out the bottom lane much faster than the super creeps will push it in. But this Leposa guy, he's just hunting for kills. Are there any level 2 travels yet? That could be a pretty nice item, just to jump right in on top of your Bat Rider whenever he finds someone. They will catch Leshrac. He does have a BKB available here. They will use it. Fissure gonna make a little bit of a wall here so that ADR can escape. BKB duration is dwindling anyway, so losing that charge, not a terribly huge deal. But still, this is such a big concern. You gotta be sweating every single moment of this game, because you never know when this will happen. You're coming with me, baby. King RD, he was like over here, and the Radiant were over here, and still they're able to get him. It's not really the best pick-off in the world, but they can do that every single time. Rinse, repeat forever. Oh, jump in, Echo Slam onto 2. Jumping from Leposa as well, as Attune's already very low on HP. Finally, the other ward goes down, but it's a little bit too late. ADR taking quite a few right clicks here from Tech as the Phantom Lancer is forced to buy out. The Timbersaw on the front lines taking pretty much no damage because of all of his armor. They lose the Shaker, but they will be able to pull out a buyback on the Phantom Lancer. And this is just a death of 1,000 stings here from SG. Seems like they have infinite sustain, even though they don't really have any source of healing outside of this one urn of the Rubik. And every single time they move in, take a lot of hits, doesn't matter, still able to make it happen. Now HFN, oh, in a lot of trouble. BKB will reveal the real one instantly, if not for the fact that it was already lassoed. Split Earth to chain stun, and he's down. Tekka even teleported in. They see him. Looks like he's just out of range, or at least they don't care, because they have bigger concerns. Snowball gonna keep the Rubik in the fight on top of Attune, keeping him out of the fight as King RD gets thrown into the Shredder. That is the Timbersaw. The Rubik's not in a great spot right now. No field will be lost. Netherward's still up. GG is called. If they don't have anyone else, they lost the Phantom Lancer, and ADR will still live. Yo, SG Esports ending with the Leshrac game, 2-0ing Digital Chaos.SA. I personally was not, this is like the last result I was expecting. 2-1s, 2-0 for DC.SA. They've been looking good, man. They've been looking real good. But SG Esports, they came to play this game. Leposa on the Batrider, incredibly legit, setting up for every single freaking kill. And DC.SA just constantly unable to utilize the value that they had. Phantom Lancer, Pugna, so much damage here, but just not into the right heroes, it seems. ADR ends the score at a pretty nice score. Fucking A, same thing, but really it's all about that Leposa Batrider, man. Definitely carried his team to a nice victory, and that is going to close out, guys, the South American qualifiers here for SLI. It's been a pleasure casting these games. I casted like all of them, right? I don't know. It's hard to keep track, but congratulations to the SG Esports side, getting knocked down to the lower bracket by Lucchini, and then coming back by beating Lucchini, and then DC.SA, who also, by the way, beat Lucchini, is quite the road to go. So congratulations to them. Looking to see more from both of these two teams in the future. We, of course, are done with the South American qualifiers. Guys, if you enjoyed these games, there are more qualifiers for this tournament to be played soon. And if you enjoyed the casting, be sure to hit me up on Twitter at Mike Loris. You can follow my Twitch channel as well. I'll be in the chat, and I'll be chilling with you guys until the stream is turned off. Once again, congratulations to SG Esports finding their spot. I'll see you guys next time. GG.